Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I am Shelly and I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. And in honor of a almost new year, I am going to be doing my top sales of 2022. So I pulled 10 from Posh, 10 from Mercari, and 10 from eBay. So yeah, I just thought it would be easier to just do like 10 from each. And I'm going to be going in order of least to most, like the highest sale for each category as well. And also, this is a different camera. I got a different camera, or a new camera, from my fiance's dad. It also has a mic on it, so I'm trying out the mic as well. And hopefully the mic will be good also when I'm doing ship with me's, since the camera is farther away from me when I'm doing those kind of videos. So yeah, let me know how it sounds, how it looks, and everything. Okay, I'll be putting a photo somewhere. We'll see where it has the most room. But yeah, let's get started. Let's go ahead and get started with Poshmark. And here we go. All right, so my lowest sale of my highest sales for Poshmark, the first one is a pair of Loeffler Randall boots, and these sold for $160. And I will tell you a little bit about the item. You will see the photo, but if I know where it came from, things like that, and cost of goods and everything, I will let you know. So this item I bought in downtown Boston. I don't remember. I didn't put the dates of anything on here. I just am doing it by price and everything. But yeah, so I picked those up in downtown Boston, and they would have been around, I think they were $10 or $11 possibly. So that was a great sale. And then my next one is a equipment dress. And this one I actually picked up at the Goodwill outlet, or the Goodwill bins, which is where I do most of my shopping. And this also sold for $160. My next piece is a Stella McCartney with Taylor Swift kind of collab sweatshirt, and that sold for $170. So I was very happy about that sale, and that also came from the Goodwill outlet. And then next, for number 4, is a Reese wool coat, and this I actually picked up at a Savers. I don't remember on the top of my head the price. I didn't write down the prices for stuff, like how much I bought it for, but I want to say it was like almost $20 actually. It was a little bit of a more expensive item at the store, but that sold for $170. And then next I have a dress from the brand Black Halo, and I picked that up in, where is that? Cambridge, I think, is where the Garment District store is, and it is a thrift store. And I picked it up for $20 or $25, and that sold for $175. That was a full price sale, and that was one of their most popular dresses, called the Jackie O dress, so that was an awesome sale. And then next up is Christy Dawn. It was a dress, and that I picked up at a local consignment store close to me, and I picked that up again for $20 or $25. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that sold for $180. And then the next piece I also actually picked up at the same time as I picked up the Black Halo dress, and it was a Rachel Antonoff dress, and that was my first time finding that brand, and that sold very well as well. And that sold for $195. I don't remember, that might have been a full price sale as well, actually. I don't remember for sure. But yeah, so I picked up that dress as well as the Black Halo dress at the Garment District at the same haul. So that was awesome. And then next up, we just have 3 more for Poshmark. It is a Ralph Lauren Country crossbody bag. It was really cool. It was like leather, and then it had like a woven kind of tapestry kind of look to it, and that sold for $200. And I actually picked that up at the Goodwill outlet during a new rotation. I remember I was like, this is really cool, and I grabbed it, and it was Ralph Lauren Country, and I didn't see a lot of those listed or available or anything. So yeah, that was an awesome find. The next item is a Michaela Gregg quilted jacket, and that was my first time finding that brand, and that was from a thrift store in Boston, and that sold for $212. And then my highest price sale from 2022 for Poshmark was a pair of Chloe scalloped edged pumps, and those sold for $250. And those actually, I think those were the most That was the most expensive item that I purchased actually of this list, and it was, I think they were $60, I want to say, and those again came from a consignment store close to me, and yeah, so those sold for $250. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Mercari, and yeah, here we go. So number one was a pair of Hunter short rain boots, and those sold for $71. I will say on Mercari, I don't have as many like higher price sales, but I do have some, so yeah. But so that's why the list is starting a little bit lower on Mercari. I just feel like I don't always sell as high price items over there all the time. So the first one was those Hunter rain boots. Those I picked up in Boston. And next is a pair of Vessi everyday sneakers, and they are a waterproof brand. I actually own a pair myself, which is why I even knew what they were when I was out thrifting. And those also came from a Boston Goodwill, and those sold for $75. And then next was a Lululemon hooded Define jacket, and that was a Ben's Find, and that sold for $75. And then I have, for number 4, a pair of Nilly Low Tan sweatpants, and those I actually picked up, I picked those up at a consignment or a Club's Mentor when I was still living in Ohio, or maybe it was like when I went home for a Christmas or something, I don't remember, but yeah, I got those actually in Ohio, and those sold for $90. And then next is a Game Boy. So this was kind of a last minute like find at the Goodwill outlet. I saw it, I was like, oh, Game Boy, that's cool. So I put it in my cart, and I honestly kind of forgot about it because it was really small and kind of just ended up in my cart, and I forgot to take it out or look it up or anything. But I'm very glad I bought it because it actually sold for $90. So that was awesome. It still turned on. I don't believe there was any game inside of it or anything. So it was just the handheld Game Boy console. So that was awesome. And then next is a pair of Free People Moto boots, and they sold for $90. And I picked them up at a Marshall's, and I think they were $12. It was during one of the yellow tag sales. And those actually sold super recently, so I was excited for that sale. And then next is a True Religion hat, and it's like a distressed baseball cap, and it sold for $95. And I was very happy with that. The only reason I even listed it that high was because I saw another reseller, Courtney from Common Tags, had picked up a very similar hat, and it sold for her on eBay for, $100 or something. And so that's why I knew to even list mine as high as I did. So I was very happy for that. And it sold super quickly, I want to say within a day or so. And that was from the Goodwill outlet. And then my next piece is a Ralph Lauren Denim & Supply military style jacket. And it sold for $127. And that I picked up at a Goodwill in Boston. And then my second to last item is a pair of boots that I picked up at the Goodwill outlet. They are from Penelope Shilvers, and that was the first time I have found that brand. Like I said, I found it at the Goodwill outlet, and I sold them for $128. And that's actually a brand that Kate Middleton wears a lot. So I believe I said that in my listing and stuff, just so for people looking up Kate Middleton items. She didn't wear that exact style of boots, but I just said she likes this brand and stuff. So yeah, those sold for $128. And then my top item on Mercari for 2022 was a H&M Balmain collab. And it was a men's like wool kind of trench coat, military inspired coat. And it sold for $160 on Mercari. So yeah. All right, so now we're going to move on to eBay. Again, 10 sales, and I just started eBay, I think it was in June, so I'm happy with like the higher sales I've had in my time on eBay because I've only been on there, for not super long, so I am excited with the sales I have from there. So for my lowest sale on eBay for 2022, or my highest sale, was a pair of Rothy's sneakers, and they're in a smaller size, they are 5.5. And they sold for $70. And I grabbed those at the Goodwill outlet. And then the next item is a kids item, actually. It was a J. Crew crew cuts suit blazer jacket, and it was new with tags. I found that at the Goodwill outlet, and that sold for $75. And then my next item is a marine layer blazer. It was a men's blazer, and that also sold for $75, and that was also from the bins. And then my next item is a Burberry bikini, and I found that in the bins, which was awesome that I found both pieces, and that sold for $75. And then my next item was a brand I've never picked up before. This was my first time picking it up, and I actually found it at Marshall's. It was either Marshall's or TJ Maxx. I think it was Marshall's though, and it was during the yellow tag sale again, and it was G4, and they are a pair of golf shorts. So they were new to tag, and they sold for $75 on eBay. And then I have a Escandor short sleeve kind of t-shirt, and that sold for $90. And then a Dress the Population, and that was from a regular Goodwill in Boston. And then the next item is a Dress the Population dress that I actually picked up when I was in San Diego, and that sold for $90. And then just a few more items to round up this video. The next piece is a Free People moto jacket. It was like faux fur. It was really cool. And I picked that up at the big like $5, $10, $15 sale that was happening at Nordstrom Rack. I think that was $15. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's $15, and I sold that for $100. And then my next piece is a Polo Ralph Lauren pair of jeans, and those I picked up at the Goodwill outlet, and those sold for $125, and those actually were an international sale, so I think they paid a good amount of money for like shipping and everything. And then my last item for eBay, so my best sale of 2022 for eBay was a pair of Frank and Eileen corduroy pants, and those I also picked up at the Nordstrom Rack sale, and those were $15, and I sold them for $157. So that is my best sales of 2022. I'm excited for more finds and more sales coming into 2023. Let me know brands that you want to find in 2023, this coming up year, and just like maybe your best sale of 2022. Either on all like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, or just like your best sale overall. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you have been enjoying my content. I am actually it's almost been a whole year since I've been doing YouTube videos, so that is super exciting. I think I started like late January, I want to say, of this past year, so I'm very excited. So I hope you all have a super fun New Year's Eve and a happy New Year, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!